So, Main Street USA over at the Magic Kingdom is going to be changing forever, but we'll discuss how and why up next. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack, this is DSNY Newscast. Go ahead and subscribe down below, turn the notification icon on, and also subscribe to Universal Newscast to get your fix of Universal Studios news as well. And with that being said, let's get to the news. So, with all of the news coming out of D23 Expo this weekend, with the Epcot renovations of Guardians of the Galaxy, Ratatouille, Mission Space Restaurant, then the Tron Light Cycle Coaster, Disney Skyliner, as well as Pixar Pier, I may be exhausted from all of this news, but there is one thing that has been overlooked in all of this, and that is the new addition coming to Main Street USA over at the Magic Kingdom. Now, I really do consider this to be one of the biggest announcements at D23 Expo, and I'm really excited to see how this plays out. As when Disney decided to change something as iconic as Main Street USA, I mean, there's not really anything more iconic except for the castles within Disney parks. So, what did Disney announce? Well, Disney announced a 2,000-seat theatre coming to Main Street USA. That will be roughly the size of the Hyperion Theatre over at Disney California Adventure Park, and will have performances several times a day of Broadway class shows, such as the Aladdin stage show and the Frozen live show over at DCA, with the same quality of these shows coming to Magic Kingdom Park, with this theatre's exterior being inspired by Willis Wood Theater from 1920s Kansas City, which is where Walt partly grew up after he left his beloved Marceline, Missouri. Now, this is a massive addition to the Magic Kingdom, and it is probably the single biggest addition to Main Street USA in its entire history. But I hear you ask, where is this theatre gonna go? Well, there may be some hints in the Disney Parks blog article on this topic. As it states, it's going to be right off Main Street USA. So this could just be me reading too much into the wording here, but after scanning the map of Main Street USA, it only really makes sense for it to go in two places. The first place would be to replace Town Square Theatre. However, I would highly doubt Disney would tear down and rebuild this piece of Main Street USA, as it really doesn't make much sense. This building wouldn't fit stylistically with the buildings either side of the Town Square Theatre. So that leaves us with realistically one other place where this building could go, and that is to the right of Main Street USA. Quite literally to the right of Main Street from Town Square, as this would explain the apparent lack of buildings in the background of this concept art. As this WDW Magic 4 user has rendered these photos that show the relative size of the building and how it would fit behind Main Street USA, still allowing enough space for parade access in and out of the backstage area. Also, it would allow for Disney to greatly improve guest flow down Main Street USA, relieving some of the pressure within the busier periods. So that's the rumoured location of this new theatre, which is going to be coming to the Magic Kingdom. But at the moment, we don't have a date for when it's going to be set to be built, or when it's even going to open. But when it does come, it's going to be a vast improvement to Magic Kingdom Park, and one I'm personally looking forward to seeing, as it's almost following through with Walt's original vision of having a second street coming off Main Street USA, as we saw with this concept art of Liberty Street in the early days of Disneyland. However, this street at Magic Kingdom will more than likely be set in the same time period as turn of the century Main Street USA. Also announced at D23 Expo is that Disney are going to be rolling out their very own version of an Uber-like service that is going to be called Minnie Vans, and will transport guests around the resort in vehicles with expert drivers who will serve as an information provider as well as a driver. So you'll be able to ask them for tips and tricks around the park whilst you get to your destination. With this new service just launching today, with an eagle-eyed Twitter user spotting them at Disney's Yacht Club and Beach Resort. And apparently the service costs $20, but that will take you anywhere around Walt Disney World Resort. And that's it for today's video, but now it's over to you, the Waltoneers, as I would like to know what type of Broadway-style show, which is Disney-themed, would you like to see come to this new Main Street Theatre at the Magic Kingdom? And it doesn't necessarily need to be a show that currently exists, but really think out of the box with what they could bring to the Main Street Theatre. And if you leave the Hidden Mickey timestamp along with your suggestion, you'll be in with a chance to win one of these DSNY Newscast pins. And with that being said, I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.